statically composed of a million waves, plus in a flow of anticipated No, I've never danced professionally before. Never taken a class. Actually, I've taken one class, a free dance class. Took it after the first moment. But I ended up every single
In the summer of 2013, self-published author Garrett Buhl Robinson spent some time talking with me about his semi-autobiographical novel, Nunatak, in New York City.
And I went there instead because I knew I met one.
You have very nice handwriting.
Oh, thank you. Always. For Linda, and for glorious dance on the stage or on the ice throughout all of my life. And check out my website. Yeah, I've had numerous people video recordings, their claims for it, and then that changes. Also had a radio interview on Mark as well too. Check out. And then I have video promotions I've done of both of my novels. Are you associated with the French Alliance at all? Well, I don't know. Actually, I don't know what the details are. The French Alliance is in numerous places in the United States and also around the world. Oh, okay. Nunatak takes you to a small fictional fishing village in Alaska called Nunatak. And a young man goes up to work in a salmon cannery for the summer. As the story transpires, he assembles a motley cast of characters around him. They interact dynamically. And they're illustrating human relationships in a number of different ways. But pretty much everything in Nunatak did happen while I was working in Alaska in 2001 and 2002. Again, I don't really feel it is an autobiographical expression now. It's not about me. Most everybody realizes that they have instances in their life that resonate with the human condition. And there's situations and conditions in which everyone can relate with, and that everyone has experienced in some way or another in their life. And so I utilize those experiences and try to present them in a way that they are recognizable and relatable with other people in other people's lives. In Nunatak, there are quite a number of contemporary issues that are addressed. One, of course, is the interaction of people from very diverse backgrounds and diverse ethnicities. And they all converge together and work together in a tense situation, and often not even being able to speak the same language, but still everyone has to be able to coordinate their activities and work together cooperatively to be able to provide food source for the masses and a livelihood for themselves. And as the cultures on the planet continue to interact and integrate themselves, I think that is an issue that is very imperative to address. Some of the other issues too is just regards to the food source too. As the human population continues to increase, being able to provide enough food to support the entire population is going to become an increasing issue, and that is something that is touched upon in Nunatak. And then also there's some other issues as well too, such as same-sex marriage that's also addressed. So the contemporary setting is very important for the novel Nunatak. The next morning, I put on my suit for work, rain suit that is, and slide back into the slime line. Working through the day, I can sense the irritability rising in people around me. I can sense it rise within myself. Sure, there is dissatisfaction in every instance of life, but this is more than that. This job is really disturbing. We are literally wading through death. I'll catch myself making a mistake, or someone else begins slacking and burdens everyone else down the line, or in me in other ways everyone can get on everyone else's nerves as our lives rub together in the abrasion of an intense situation. Emotions flare, tempers erupt, we're all in a bad mood, and we've all got knives in our hands. If this is a dream job, it's a nightmare. The Tuesday pause turned out to be a very interesting character in many ways, for myself and for members of the audience that I've spoken with. Originally, I just intended him to be a mouthpiece for quite a number of ideas that I had. I like to embed ideas into the story and then integrate those ideas so that they resonate, and I'm illustrating them through the action and event of the story in the novel. But as I wrote the book, he basically took a life of his own, and I've gotten some wonderful reactions from people who've read the book. And a lot of people consider him the favorite character in the book too, and he takes on this quality of a eccentric intellectual. Personally though, I was just happy that he did turn out to be a very engaging character, because then hopefully that'll allow some of the ideas that I'm having him express sink in, because I cherish quite a number of those ideas that he does express. And I've worked on them for quite a number of years, and I was happy to be able to find a story that I was able to install and be able to present those ideas, and hopefully in a very entertaining way. Tuesday's shy voice draws the attentive ear closer, so that a person finds themselves peering through the lens of the eye of his mind that magnifies and telescopes each ordinary day into a revelation. Perhaps his life is like a laboratory for mixing carefully measured ingredients into extravagant reactions. Perhaps his life is a chalkboard for sketching elaborate theories, and just peeking inside his holes fills any interest with lengthy lectures. Perhaps his life is like a library where he walks around pulling dusty books from shelves to open brilliant pages with passages that lead to any place imaginable. Some might think these encounters as transient events, flashes of insight that vanish as suddenly as they had appeared. As I walk along this afternoon, I thought differently, retracing the conversation, reconstructing the information, and revolving the different shapes of ideas Tuesday conveyed. I wondered to what extent I may be adjusting the patterns of my thought to his influence. Certainly I have to adjust to anyone to understand them from their perspective. But I began to wonder if my mind is like a glass of water that moves in the ways it is stirred, that pours into the shape of the situation it fills and often overflows. After all, our minds are the subtlest portions of our body. To gain a tangible understanding, they can contort into any shape they encounter. They can stretch between stars and galaxies in celestial calculations. They can narrow to atom slice precise, broaden to span eons of time, and they can shape themselves into their own creations they can imagine. Comparatively, the body's extremities are the clumsy parts.
Well, and also, too, one thing that fascinates me about Quebec, I think is so incredibly distinct, because, like, say, in Europe, you've got now, what's another? Yeah. Well, I know Montreal, but in Quebec, they have Montreal.